Yay! You guys, I'm so excited for the Zoom tonight. We're going to talk all about mindset. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up. No?
Did she cut out for you guys too?
Yeah, of course. Okay, I think I'm back. Can you guys?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, of course that would happen, but it's okay. It's still recording, so we're good. Okay, so we're so excited tonight because we're going to be talking all about mindset. And if you guys don't know this already, our business is like 90% mindset, 10% work. Yeah, this is going to take work, but if your mind's not right, then this business is going to be difficult for you. So that's why we want to teach you guys how to train your brain and just some tips and tricks on if you're just having a bad day. So hold on, somebody is not muted. Okay, so one thing I wanted to start off with was when I first started, you guys, I had plenty of support from my boyfriend, from my family, from his family. And I know a lot of people don't have that, and some other girls are going to go over that. But when I did first start, when I was posting on Facebook, some family members would comment on those posts and just not very nice things. Like it would be about weight loss, and they would just say mean things about the products and just different things like that. So what I did is I didn't let that bother me because
Did you get the menu or did I do?
if you could mute yourself when you get on, that would be awesome. Okay. I just didn't let that stuff bother me because I knew that this business was going to do more for me than that one comment. So what I did was on Facebook, you can actually hide posts from different people. So that's what I did because I just didn't even want to see the comments. I didn't want to delete them because they were family members, but I deleted or I hid my posts from them. But you guys, what's funny now is I've been in for over 2 years, and those people have now tried those products and had good results. So just make sure you stay consistent, and if you're just having those bad days, just know that you can hide posts from people. Sorry guys, I'm getting really distracted because people aren't muted. Okay, there we go. So that was mine. And then what I'm gonna go over a little bit is these 5 things to get out of your head, and then I'm gonna go over what I do daily. So I heard this on another leadership Zoom, and I have slow internet connection. I think I'm good though. Okay. So one is sorry guys, I need to learn how to mute everyone when they get on. Okay, so there's 5 things to get out of your head. So if you want to write this down, or I'll put it in the comments of the Zoom info, is remember why you're doing this. So in the chat, if you guys want to put your why, just remember you need to have a strong why, because on those bad days, you need to remember why you are doing this and why you want to continue doing this business. And then also tell your enroller, tell them why you joined this business. If they haven't asked you yet, tell them why, because if you do have a bad day and you go to them, they can tell you exactly why you need to continue this. So it could be your family, it could be health issues, it could be you don't want to work a 9 to 5. And one thing that I want to say is don't let your why become your excuse, because that is the worst thing you could do for your business. Because you're doing this for a reason. So if it is your kids and they're home right now and you're going crazy, but you still want to work your business, do not blame your kids for not working the business. You can find time. Wake up 30 minutes earlier, go to bed 30 minutes later. There's plenty of time in the day to do this, so don't make your why an excuse. Number 2 is think about the outcome. So right now you might not be where you want to be, but 6 months from now you might be ambassador. So if you quit now, you'll never know what could come out of this business. You could be ambassador diamond making that kind of money, which is crazy to think about. But if you were to quit, that would be crazy. And we did the vision board Zoom last week, so that is also your outcome. Look at your vision board on days that are hard, or every single day too. If you want a new house, have that on your vision board, and remember that's why you want to keep doing this business. Number 3, which I think is super important in this business, is stop comparing yourself to other people. I know we all do this some days. I mean, I know I do, but it's something that I've learned to like teach myself not to do and to control it more. Sorry, more people are muted. And I actually got all these from Shia Knox on another Zoom, and she said she used to compare herself to people that she is now far beyond. That's crazy, you guys. I think she said when she was going diamond, she was comparing herself to other diamonds, and now she's an ambassador diamond, and those people are still diamonds. So you just have to remember that right now you just cannot compare yourself to others. And if you have to not follow somebody on social media, like maybe it's a sideline that you compare yourself to every single day and you just don't want to see their post, that's okay. You don't have to follow them. It's your business. You just have to remember that. 4, give up the idea of control. And then 5 is negativity is out the window. So negative comments, negative thoughts, just put those out the window and don't think negative thoughts. I know sometimes that can be hard, and that's kind of like what we're going to go over is like what you can do to get your mindset right. So what I do every day is I wake up and I try not to look at my phone, because you don't want to wake up and see the first thing you see is a negative text or a negative message from a customer or a potential. So try not to like look at your phone right away. So maybe like it's reading a devotional before you look at your phone, listening to a podcast, journaling, reading a book. So what I do is I read my devotional. It takes like 2 minutes to read, and then if you journal, it takes maybe 5 minutes. So it doesn't take long, but if you need to wake up 30 minutes earlier to do that, make sure you do that before you look at your phone. I know sometimes it's hard. It's still something I'm working on, but just do that stuff before you do see some negative comments, because we know we get no's every day, but that does not mean no. It means no right now, but it means yes later. Something else to watch on Netflix is The Secret. If you haven't watched that yet, it's really good, because it kind of goes over what you think and what you say is what you attract. So if you're saying, oh, I can't enroll customers, then that's exactly what you're going to get. You're not going to enroll customers. But if you're saying, I'm going to enroll 5 customers today with 100 VV, then that's what you're going to attract. If you're saying, I can't enroll distributors, they can't afford it, that's exactly what you're going to attract. But if you're saying, I'm enrolling rockstar distributors who are enrolling their first customers in their 48 hours, that's what you're going to attract. So that show is really good about, it's kind of weird at first, but I highly, highly recommend watching it. And with every level of leadership is going to be different levels of personal development and mindset, because once you get higher up, once you keep going up, you're just going to receive a lot more negativity and more obstacles or different things. So if you're like going Ruby, just start reading books like Rachel Hollis. I mean, I love Rachel Hollis's books, or listening to her podcast. Journaling is really good too. I think that's all I have. Trusting the process, you guys, too, is a big thing. So if you're not getting results right now, just know that like this month, I think I've heard this before, I think Kara says this, what you're working for now is going to pay off 3 months from now. So just keep working hard and you're going to see the results eventually. I think that's all I have, and if I have anything, I can add it later, so I don't know who wants to go next.
Go. Okay, you guys. So I had some similar things to talk about, but also too, like, so when I first got started, some of you might not know this, but my husband was completely against it, you guys. He was like, no, you're just going to waste your money. You're going to spend more than you ever make. No, no, no. And so I actually ended up buying the products first, and then the kits, Brooke texted and was like, it's only $49 to join. And I was trying to talk Justin into it, and he kept saying, no, 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 no. So then the kits were $20 to join at the time. And I was like, I'm just going to do this because it was so much on my heart that like this business came into my life for a reason that I didn't really care what he was going to say because like he'll forgive me. Okay. So like, first of all, if you have like a spouse that is not supportive of this, it's because they don't understand. Okay. And I've sold other products before that it didn't work out. Like it was nothing like what we're doing here. And it was just me blowing my money. And so that's what he thought it was going to be like. And this is just totally different. And it's hard for people to grasp that. And that's kind of one of the things that holds people back from joining us because they're like, oh, it's just like that other business and you're never going to make any money. So those are like obstacles that we have to overcome for people. And so if you're talking to a potential distributor and they're saying like, my husband says no, I always say, oh my gosh, my husband said no too. But like, he's so thankful that I do this now because I don't have to go to work as an EMT. He does, like, I was working overtime. He doesn't have to go to work overtime. I mean, he works now, but like, there's just so many benefits to it. So when you sign up, you don't see that right away, obviously. This is something that like you're going to grow into. My first paycheck was $72. And of course he was making fun of me, but I was like, I just made $72. Like I was so excited. And I could have let that discourage me and let that like, oh, my husband doesn't support me, I better not do this. But instead I used it to my advantage. And I was like, I'm going to prove him wrong. Like, he's going to regret the day that he ever said I should not do this business. I'm going to prove him wrong. And so something that I like to say, like, you don't ever want the reason to do this business to like prove people wrong, because then that's not the reason you should be doing it. You should be doing this for yourself and for your own personal why. But that's just like a side benefit that like all of those haters and all those people who are like saying, no, this is a scam, whatever, they're going to regret that. And they're going to come back and want to join your team. And then I also had written down like pretty much what Brooke said about what Cheyenne Knox was saying, but she also said that there will be obstacles, but God already has prepared me for this. There will be obstacles, but God has already prepared me for this. And that like struck me to the core. I was like, yes, you guys, there are going to be obstacles. There are days when I want to pull my hair out and my kids are being crazy. There are days when, like today, we had a crazy day. I mean, there's going to be things that happen. Your internet's not going to work. Brooke and I and Kara, we have that problem every single day. Our internet sucks, okay? But like, you just overcome it. You just figure it out. And some days if my internet's not working and it can be extremely frustrating, instead of just getting frustrated over it, I'll go drive into town and sit in my car and let the girls sleep, and I'll work from my phone in the car. And so something that self-development has like truly done for me is like me being able to recognize when I start to get frustrated or upset, or someone says something negative to me, I can like literally I catch it super, super fast and I change my mindset around. So the other day, Monday morning, I woke up to a rude text from a customer. And at first it like got me down. And then I was like, I have hundreds of customers who love me and love my products. I have hundreds of distributors who are amazing and who are learning from me and enrolling amazing customers too. Like, this one person is not going to affect my entire day. But you guys, before I started self-development, I would not have thought of that. Like, I would have just let that completely ruin my day. And so self-development is huge, and we're going to talk about it a lot. And I know if you're brand new, like I promise you, when I first started, I was like, self-development is not an income producing activity. I do not need that. It sounds corny. It sounds weird. I don't know what these people are doing, but I don't need that. That's what I was thinking. And you guys, I went to diamond and I went to double diamond, and then I lost rank because I didn't have the mindset to be like, to prepare for when people left my team, because that's going to happen to you. People are going to leave, but that's just to like, those people are going to go out and better people are going to come in, people who truly want this business. And so mindset is so, so important, because if you just think of it as something that's not income producing, and you're not going to be prepared for the next level. And that's just super important, because you always want to be thinking, what's next? Like, I started this business to quit my job, and I did that in 6 months. But then what? Like, yeah, I want to pay off debt, but like, again, I didn't have the mindset to keep going when people were leaving me, and it pushed me back a year. So now here I am going double diamond again, and, triple this month. And so hopefully, yes, it's happening. It's scary. See, you guys, like, it's scary to call that stuff out. And even as leaders, and even Cheyenne Knox, who just went Ambassador Diamond, she was scared to death to call that out and say, this is what I'm doing. Like, but you just have to do it, and you just have to get over those fears, and self-development is 100% going to help you do that. People are going, first of all, when people don't respond, please do not let that discourage you, because 9 times out of 10, I forget to text people back. Like, there's times like you guys might have messaged me, and then a kid pooped, or someone's screaming, or Justin walks in and he's trying to talk to me. Like, people literally are so busy, and we all are every single day, that they just forget to respond. And so I sent a message in several groups today, like, about post to post. If someone doesn't post for you, just be like, hey girl, did you get a chance to post that? And I got like literally 12 up today just by doing that. Because they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, yes, I'll post it right now. And then when people say no, like, they're not saying no to you, they're saying no right now. Just like to Brooke, I said, no, not right now, because my husband doesn't want me to, but then later I signed up. And drop a 1 in the chat if y'all said no to whoever enrolled you the first time they asked. See, like, literally everyone. I doubt anyone even signed up on the spot ever. It definitely happens, but like, it's 9 times out of 10, they have to think about it. They have to process it. They have to ask their spouse. They have to like weigh the pros and cons and keep watching you, and then they're going to join. So whether it be customer or distributor, just don't take no as a no. Just take it as a not right now. And then, so every morning I journal, and you guys, my journaling differs like every day. It literally is just whatever comes into my head, I write it down. So some days it's like, I'm talking about what I was grateful for the day before. Other days I'm stating like I am statements, and I'll just read a few off to you. Like this, if you're brand new, you're going to think this sounds corny, because I did. I'm not even going to lie. But it works. I swear. One day I wrote down, I will enroll 200 BV. And I enrolled I enrolled 200 BV. One day One day I wrote down, my team will enroll 1,000 BV today. And guess what? My team enrolled 1,000 BV. And it's not just magic. It's not that like you just write it down and it happens. You have to put the work into it. But when you write it down and you do the work, it's going to happen. So here's just a few things. I don't have my journal with me, but here's a few things I wrote down one day. It says, I signed 5 loyal customers today. I signed 1 distributor today who has already signed a customer. I teach my team exactly how to be successful. I am rich. I am blessed. I am Ambassador Diamond. I am debt-free. I am an amazing mom, wife, leader, and entrepreneur. I give back 5 figures a month. God has granted me everything I need and want. God has blessed the work of my hands. I do what others won't so I can have what others can't. I want to pay off my I want to pay off my parents' and Justin's parents' debt. I have $50,000 in college funds for both of my girls, and I have 100,000 plus in savings. So like that, obviously most of that has not happened. Like I'm sure I might have signed a distributor or 5 customers, but like a lot of that is just speaking things into existence. And so I promise you, like, those things are going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't know when, I don't know how, but it's going to freaking happen because I'm doing the work. I'm not making excuses. Like I said, some days are crazy. Like Brooke said, you can't be in control of everything. There's going to be days when things are not going the way you thought they would, but you still have to have that belief. You have to have the mindset, and you have to do the work. And so when you journal these things and when you speak them into existence, it's like I heard Morgan Martin say this. I'm kind of talking forever, but I'll say this one last thing and then I'll let someone else talk. Morgan Martin said this one time and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. It's like when you're running late to work and you are thinking in your head, I'm going to hit every single red light and I'm going to be even later and I'm going to hit every single red stoplight. Then guess what? You're probably going to hit every single red stoplight. But if you say, oh my God,
And this is so stupid. I hate to even say this out loud, but that people, like, it would like affect him negatively too. Like people would be like, oh, your wife sells that stuff, or like his income is super public, so people know what he makes, so like they know we're financially fine. And I was just very nervous about what people would think. I didn't want to go around people and have them be like, oh, I don't want to hang out with her because she's going to push these products or this business on me. And so those were like stigmas that I had like put in my own head, and they held me back for so long. And finally one day, I just kind of decided to go for it. My husband got really hurt, and I had already quit my job probably a year before. And he was super encouraging though. Like he was all for it, wanted me to do something for myself, and super supportive. So like I had that side of it, but I had my own doubts where like some people were like ready, but their significant other wasn't supporting them. He was like, you can do this. Like, who cares what people think? Like, we go after what we want. Like, that's how we live our lives. And so he was like all in before I was all in. So it was really interesting, and it took me a little while. And I remember telling Kara, I signed up, I'm like, I will not message people. Like, that's what I said to her. She was like, okay, like, that's fine. And for a while, it was fine. I was getting customers. I was getting distributors. Like, I was blessed enough to like have some following at first. So that worked for me. Well, then all of a sudden, like it stopped. I went diamond in, I think like a month and a half or whatever it was, super fast. And then all of a sudden for like 2 weeks straight, I didn't get a customer, a distributor, nothing. And I'm like, well, Kara, what do I do? Like everything was going great. I don't know. I'm doing the same thing I was doing. Why isn't it working? And she was like, you got to do more. And she didn't come out and say like, you need to message, but she was like, try these different things. She like guided me instead of forced me. So I messaged for a little while. I did some other stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now I'm back to getting like at least a customer a day. So I just kind of did it, and it happened naturally. These people, or like these things would pop in my head that were just not positive, not good producing, not income producing thoughts. And it's like sometimes I would let those thoughts like seep in further and further. And one of my really good friends started, she was an Olympic figure skater in Canada, and I did this webinar series with her. And since then I've dove in a little deeper, and I do self-development calls with her once a week. And so much of what we talk about is on mindset. It's like so much what Brooke and Morgan have said. Like it truly can change your business. Like it is a much bigger part than actually like messaging people or even host to post. If you have a negative mindset, you are not going to go anywhere because you're going to be stuck within your own thoughts, within your own feelings. And that's not where we want to be. And so I think overcoming that and finding tools that work for you is so important, because honestly, all of us are so different. What works for me might not work the same for Katie or for Brooke or for Morgan or anyone, Stacy, Kara, Mallory, like things work so differently. Our minds work so differently. And the way that we get customers and distributors is different. So I think that you need to remember that. It goes so much with what they said about not comparing yourself to other people, because our journey is so different. And I think a big thing for me also is taking time each day to pray. Like I was not getting, the last 2 days, I was not getting the amount of customers or basically volume that I wanted to get in the day. And it was like, even though I've gotten to a point where I can like recognize those thoughts and I can tell myself, those aren't self-producing, good thoughts. We're going to move on from them. They still are there for a little while. And so instead of letting those like seep in, I just started praying, like, Lord, guide me where you want me. Lord, show me what I can do. Let me bless people with these products. Let me bless people with these opportunities. And sometimes when I took myself out of the equation and it wasn't for me to get that volume goal, but it was more about helping other people, I had peace about it. And then like today has been such a different day. And I think because I've actually time to and regather my thoughts and get refocused. And sometimes I think that's so important because we get so caught up in the little things and like seeing what other people are doing. I absolutely like love the booms in our chats because I'm a very competitive person. I will throw it out there. I'm like, all right, you got 2 loyal customers. I want 4. So I love that. But you have to make sure that you are controlling your thoughts and you don't let those affect you in a negative way and you let them fuel your fire. Because it is so good. It's good to want to like do better, but don't like wish someone wouldn't do well. And B, don't let that affect your business. Use it to motivate you and be like, oh, she did it. Why can't I do it? There's nothing different between me and you. We can both do the same things. And so I think that's, really big. I think constantly asking questions, which is something I love about these new groups that we have. They are such a good outlet to ask questions. I think when we don't know something, we let it shut us down and we don't like, it almost like kind of enables us to like move forward. So ask those questions, reach out to your upline, reach out to me. I don't care. I have questions every single day, I feel like. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so silly because I feel like I'm still learning. But I think we all feel like that. And there's still days where like I have self-doubt, like I said, but you just got to push through it. Also like a big thing for me, and I didn't even realize it so much until I started doing this business. I'm reading someone's comment. Yeah, like getting to help people. I love that, Sarah. I just think organization is so big for me, and it also helps me gather my thoughts. And I'm doing the chats tomorrow, so I'll probably put some of this in there. But basically, I like to, when the month starts, I get out my chart and I chart it. Like I know where I'm going, and it helps my mind be focused and focus on the positive things. And then I also write down like things that I want to accomplish that month. And then I break it down into a week. So I get a bit more specific, like this week. And I break it from personal to work. Because for me, I was only doing work stuff for a while, like writing that down. And then I felt like I wasn't getting my personal stuff done. And so it kind of like shut down, this side of me. It was like, once I feel like I'm not getting one thing done, it seems like it's just kind of like a trickle down effect and I'm not as productive. And so I really like to write things down weekly. And then each morning when I get up, I write down what I want to accomplish with work and what I want to accomplish with my personal life or with Tim and Hazen. And it's helped me a lot. It's helped me organize my thoughts a lot. And I can just write stuff down as the day goes on. So like sometimes like I'll be in the middle of work, but a thought will pop in, whether it's good, bad, whatever. It's going to take me off track. And if I don't write it down, I feel like it kind of like distracts me. And so I think just getting organized with those kind of things is really big. And I think Brooke might have said this, but reaching out to people, let your upline know your why. Like have an accountability partner. if you're having a bad day, reach out to one of us. Like, we are here for you. And this business is truly changing our lives and so many other people's lives. And don't get me wrong, there's been days where I've thought, am I really made for this? Do I really want to keep doing this? Um, and the answer is yes, but that's just our own natural instinct to ask ourselves those questions. And I think it's so important to not harp on those thoughts, but to just reach out to someone. Let someone refill your cup. You don't always have to be the one to refill it. We're not saying that. We're also here for you. Like, we've been where you may be at, or that day even. So don't hesitate, because we want you to grow. We want you to succeed. And we're just so blessed to have each other. I think I'm done going on and on.
That was so good, Jamie and Morgan and Brooke. I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. Now what am I going to talk about? Thank you, guys. Oh, I have a lot of thoughts on this. So I used to think personal development and mindset was BS, crazy. I don't need any of that. Not for me. I didn't want my husband to know I was listening to podcasts in my car all the time. When I was reading, I would like not tell him what book I was reading because he would make fun of me for doing it. He's still always like, why are you doing that? Why are you wasting your time? But here's the difference between him and me. When I was getting on here tonight, his mindset is totally different than mine. I texted a few of the girls this when I was getting on. I was like, do you want to make a guest appearance tonight because you're so good at mindset? And he was like, no, because if you had your mind set to do and accomplish your goals, then why aren't they done? And I'm like, not that easy. Like, I come up with excuses, but then he's the one that like levels me back up. And it's like, you're so right. Like, whenever I have days that I'm enrolling 5 customers, he's like, why don't you do that every day? And I'm like, in my head, I pause for a second because I'm going to come up with an excuse. But those excuses are not going to get me anywhere. They're not going to get any of you guys anywhere. And so when you guys need that person to go to when you have those thoughts that are going to level you up. Get it out, catch yourself, get over it, because no one else can do that for you. It's in your mind. It's your thoughts. Whenever I first got started, I had a lot of, I wouldn't say like fear or doubt about the business because I saw it working for people. I had fear of judgment, of what other people would think. And so I had to get over myself. You're your own worst enemy. So I had to get over that. Like, I remember going on the cruise. I earned the free cruise. It was Karen Stacy's second one and my first one. And there's pictures on Facebook, and someone said to Michael, like, oh, your wife's doing that. Like, at the time, I wasn't making a big income. I think I was like Ruby for 1 month, you guys. So it wasn't like he was like, oh yeah, she's making bank. Like, it's totally worth it. Like, now everybody knows that I do that because I was able to quit my job and do this full time now. And one of my goals for next year is every month we're going to live in New York City. We have a luxury apartment, doorman and all. And I'm like, I'm going to pay for our rent every month. I'm going to pay for our gym every month just with my It Works money. We're not going to touch our savings. We sold our house, so like we have a good savings. We've been able to save as well because I was doing It Works and working dental hygiene for a while. So you can use this business for whatever you want to use it for, whether it's, $100, $200, $2,000, $20,000. Like, literally it can go on and on. You just have to decide what you're doing it for, and then don't compare yourself to other people. If your check is not as much as someone else's, if you're not where you want to be yet, that just means that you have room to grow, you guys. You tell yourself, like, all right, I'm going to do better. That's all you have to do to learn from it. I started January 1st journaling every morning. I got the Rachel Hall Start Today journal. I don't know if drop it in the chat if anyone's ever done this before. But one of the things that I wrote down was that I wanted to have a certain amount of money in our savings by the time we moved to New York. And we are like 30% past that, you guys. It's like a huge number. But I wrote that down January 1st. Like, I want to have this much money in our savings when we move. No, we did not think it was possible, you guys. And we have 30% more than that. Like, it's insane. So things that I do for personal development is I listen to a lot of podcasts. So if you guys need any podcast recommendations, just message me, or we can like drop them in the comments on the team page. Rachel Hollis is a good one. Jenna Kutcher is a good one. John Maxwell, I love him. He was like my BFF while we were packing up our house and moving. Lots of good ones. And Pam Souter, yeah, I love him. So you guys can listen to podcasts like while you're cleaning, while your kids are playing, while you're doing anything, while you're in the shower, in the bath, even, whatever. I also like to read, so I try to read quite a bit as well. Someone's not muted. Thanks. Got distracted. So I like to read as well. And I could tell you that I would not be here still if I did not do those things. If I didn't get past Michael making fun of me for doing those things, I wouldn't still be doing this. Mark posted today, and I shared it on the team page, the ceiling you're trying to break through is glass. Like, if you don't understand that, are you going to let it stop you, or are you going to break through it? You have to decide. Is it going to stop you, or are you going to go past it? And I thought that was super good. So every morning I wake up and I do my journaling. I have to say, I will call myself out in the last like 2 to 3 weeks. I have not been good about that. With moving and all that. The other thing I do, I was doing it at nighttime, and I started doing it in the morning. I read my daily devotional like Brooke does. I've been reading it to her and Morgan. We work every morning if you guys ever want to hop on with us. So we read that every morning. And Stacey's the one that told me to start doing it in the morning, because I would read it at nighttime and I was like, well, shit, if I would have known this morning, my day could have went a lot smoother. Like, God tried to prepare me for this, but I just didn't listen. So I read that every morning. The other thing that I wanted to say is, you guys have to know your why and keep that in mind, because the reward is greater than the risk. If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to push past any objective, any criticism, anything, if you are willing to get through all that, you will. Because there's not anything that stops you besides yourself. You're the only thing. And then the other thing I listened to the other day that really hit home is abundance versus scarcity. So sometimes in our mind, we think like, oh, I'm not going to get my first 6 customers. I'm not going to get my distributors. I'm not going to get my volume. You're not. If you think that, like, I hate to break it to you, but if you say you are, you don't put a time limit on it. You do the work and try to get it done. Like, whatever you have to do to get it done, you just do the work. But if you think, well, what if I get these and then I'm going to lose them? Because I've had those thoughts too, guys. You're like, well, do all these people like drop off after their auto shipments are done? No, if you're truly giving them products and recommendations based on like what their goals and wants are, I have customers that order and have ordered for years and years and years, and they still order like 200 BV orders every month, you guys, because I took that time to get to know them and give them recommendations of products they want. So don't be worried about if this, if that, what if I don't do that? Well, guess what? That's not going to happen, because in this moment, you are making up your mind that you are going to make it happen. So whatever you think is whatever you'll do. Let me see. There was one other thing I wanted to say to you guys. Jamie kind of touched on it, but find like a sideline or someone that you can go to get over it, but will also like cheer you on and be like a friendly competitor if you like that. Because I am all about that. I will look at other people and I will be like, what is she doing differently than me? Like, I take that as an opportunity to learn. I don't take it as I'm not good enough. I take it as, what can I improve on? So don't feel bad about having those thoughts and letting them creep up. Use it to fuel your fire, like Sammy already said. The other thing that was said at conference was, I think Jade Hooper or Ashley Mayfield said it, but run so fast that you can't even hear the freaking wind. So if you could ask me, like, how many people don't reply to you in a day that you message to do host to post? I don't know. I don't care. If they don't have time to respond to me, I don't have time to look back and see who didn't respond to me, because I'm going to find those people that want to. I don't have time to waste on these people that don't read me or don't left, or have a rude comment. Like, sorry, you're in a bad mood. I'm not going to let you bring that down on me. I will pray for you. I hope that you are a nicer person tomorrow and a better human pleaser. Is anyone else in here? Drop like a 3. I think that's what we're on, a 3 in the chat if you're a people pleaser. Like, I don't ever want to piss anyone off, you guys. Most of you guys are probably like that. People that do well in this business are generally people pleasers because we are helping other people with the product and the opportunity. So you kind of get torn between that spot of like, I don't want to offend anyone. And just verbalize that. If someone ever says something mean or rude, either block them and move on if you don't have the time for it, or just say, I'm so sorry I didn't offend you, period, done, end the conversation. So I highly encourage you guys to listen to self-development every day. Self-development is not just doing trainings with YouTube videos on how to work your business or host to post. That's not self-development. Self-development can be listening to a podcast, reading a book about growth mindset, that type of thing, just writing in a journal for 2 minutes, reading a morning devotional, whatever it is. I highly encourage all of you guys to do that every day, even though it sounds like voodoo. And my husband will still think that it's voodoo because he still thinks that just do it. But I think that's all I have. Does anyone else have anything or saying? Sammy, do you want to close us out in a prayer?
Yes, I can. Okay. Lord, we just thank you so much for bringing us here tonight, for just letting us have open, honest conversations that you've put on our heart. We pray that we've touched people here tonight. We pray that you're touching people, that we can constantly look to you, grow in you, and just know that your guidance is perfect, that it has its perfect timing, and that we just need to trust in you. We might not all be exactly where we want to be, but we are definitely on our way. And with your guidance, we will be there. With our confidence, we will be there. And with your grace, we can accomplish all things that you provide, Lord. We're so thankful for you. We're so thankful for this team, everyone that you put on it. We just pray that you bless each and every person, that you keep us all safe, and that we can be a blessing to others, a light to others. And you let us use this business to constantly help other people. That is our objective, and we know that that is your objective in life, Lord. We thank you, we glorify you, and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.